Hey there, muggles and magical folk. We're diving into the world of Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts, but specifically the baddies. We've got two seriously dark wizards on our hands, Lord Voldemort and Gellert Grindelwald. They both wreak havoc with magic, but their styles are totally different. Voldemort, with his noseless face you wouldn't want to meet in a dark alley, is all about power through fear. He's like that scary teacher who loves giving out detentions. Grindelwald, on the other hand, is sneakier. He's like that smooth-talking politician who makes you think he's your friend. Both of these guys want to rule the magical world, but they go about it in totally different ways. Voldemort wants everyone to be terrified of him, while Grindelwald tries to convince everyone he's doing it for their own good. Spoiler alert, he's not. Voldemort is all about himself. He's a classic bully who never got over being an orphan. He thinks he's better than everyone else, especially those mudbloods, wizards without magical parents, which is super messed up. He's terrified of death, so he splits his soul into pieces and hides them in objects called Horcruxes. Talk about going to extreme lengths for immortality. Voldemort's power comes from fear. He wants everyone to tremble before him and do exactly what he says. He's like that grumpy neighbor who yells at you for stepping on their lawn. Except instead of yelling, he's more likely to try and turn you into a toad. Now, Grindelwald is a different kind of baddie. He's charming and charismatic. He could sell you a pair of invisible socks and make you think you got a great deal. Grindelwald believes wizards are superior to muggles, non-magical folk, and should rule over them. He thinks he's doing the right thing, but his methods are seriously twisted. Grindelwald is a master manipulator. He tricks people into joining his side, making them think they're fighting for a noble cause. He's like that friend who convinces you to do something you know is wrong, but you go along with it anyway. Grindelwald's power comes from persuasion and deception. He's dangerous because he doesn't just want to rule by force. He wants people to believe in his vision, even if it's a really messed up vision. Section 4 names hold power hiding in plain sight. Both Voldemort and Grindelwald have something in common. They changed their names. Voldemort was born Tom Riddle, a perfectly normal-sounding name. But he hated that name because it reminded him of his non-magical father. So he reinvented himself as Lord Voldemort, a name designed to strike fear into the hearts of witches and wizards everywhere. Grindelwald, on the other hand, was born with a name that already sounded pretty magical, but he twisted his beliefs and actions to reflect a darker purpose. Changing their names represents how these villains want to erase their pasts and become someone new, someone powerful and feared. It's like when a caterpillar transforms into a butterfly, except instead of becoming something beautiful, they become agents of chaos. Section 5, the power of choice, wands, words and ideologies. Voldemort and Grindelwald both use magic, but their fighting styles are different. Voldemort is all about brute force. He loves dark magic and isn't afraid to use it on anyone who gets in his way. He's like a bull in a china shop, except the bull is made of dark magic and the china shop is the entire wizarding world. Grindelwald is more strategic. He uses his words as weapons, spreading propaganda and manipulating people to achieve his goals. He's like a chess master, carefully planning his moves and using his followers as pawns in his twisted game. Their approaches to power reflect their personalities and beliefs. Voldemort wants to rule through fear and intimidation, while Grindelwald wants to control people's minds and make them think his way is the right way. Section 6. Lessons learned, facing darkness, choosing light. So what can we learn from these two villains? First, that evil comes in many forms. It can be loud and obvious like Voldemort, or quiet and manipulative like Grindelwald. Second, understanding where evil comes from is important for fighting it. Voldemort's fear of death and Grindelwald's twisted sense of justice led them down dark paths. By understanding their motivations, we can better recognize and combat similar evils in our own world. Finally, and most importantly, we all have the power to choose between right and wrong. We can choose to be like Harry Potter, who fights for good even when it's hard, or we can be like Voldemort and Grindelwald, who let their anger, fear, and thirst for power consume them. The choice is always ours, and remember, even in a world of magic and wonder, it's our choices that define who we truly are.